let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to talk about momentum, how to naturally raise your testosterone, your human growth hormone, and make your penis bigger. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. Alright, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please ring the bell, subscribe to the channel, of course tell some friends. Make sure you give me that Arthur Fonzarelli thumbs up like so I say yeah. And of course, follow me on my social media. I go by Jesus_Detroit on my Instagram, Snapchat, I'm YOUNGDAYGO. And that's right, in this video we're talking about the momentum, because you know what we're all about here in the BCC, the Big Cock Consciousness, the Big Cock Collective, where I help you manifest a bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder penis, help you naturally raise your testosterone and your HGH. I'm a spiritual guide and a mentor here to expand your mind and increase your size. So without further ado, I'm here to tell you about momentum. And yes, with these crazy times that we're in, you can always come back to the one thing to win, and that's if you're grinning, you're winning. I had to just go with that in this particular flow because, like I always say, the smile is divine. It's made inside the mind. But what we're really talking about here and now is, you know, the process and the beautiful thing of momentum. And what momentum is just pretty much just gripping onto the best feeling thought in the moment and just growing with that. And that's exactly what, you know, I pretty much do every day on a day-to-day. Always try to be on the side of the good, the side of the growth, the side of the flow. And you know me, I'm always doing that wu-wei flow. It's a Tao practice, which is the path of least resistance, not, you know, fighting against the way of the day, just kind of going with the flow as things come your way. And that's essentially what momentum is. And, you know, it's not just about continuously doing something, because the not doing is doing. You know what I'm saying? So when you're thinking about that, think about this. The best thing that you can go off of is whatever's making you do this. The smile is divine. Never forget that. So if you're smiling all the time, you are definitely on the right side of the grow. And what this all has to do with, when we're talking about naturally raising your testosterone, your human growth hormone, and of course making that huge piece of meat swing to the knees and throb to the pecs, making you your best. Oh yeah, you know what we're talking about here. It's about just keeping yourself happy, because when you're in the happy mode, that's what's really going to let you grow. And you know, if you're like going throughout the day stressed out, what should I do? Should I wait for this? Should I do whatever those may or may not be? You're best off just finding the things that make you happy. And, you know, a lot of people are going to tell you about, you know, practicing meditation, which is, you know, taking your mind out of the thoughts of the day, where you're able to just kind of just let go and really let it flow. And that takes, you know, time, and just setting yourself 15 minutes, you know, or whatever, and at a particular time in the day where you can just kind of shut down the sound. But more or less, as long as you're getting away from the stress, is really what's going to be the key factor into keeping your momentum going in the right direction. So if you got to scroll the gram, if you got to watch a comedian on Netflix, or whatever it may be, read a spiritual quote, look at a big booty pic, whatever it's got to do to keep it up here, that's what we're going. Because like I say, if you want beauty to appear, you got to keep this clear. You got to be a clear conduit for growth. So you keep your mind clear by any which way that you can, and keeping yourself in that constant, like, you know, just being as happy as you can. And I know it might sound like, how can you just be happy at any given time? I mean, is this guy high on life? And that's essentially what it is. You got to be high on you. And I know right now it's actually 4:20, believe it or not. For all you super stoners out there, I say salute. And you know what? I might as well give a quick, you know, real salute. I'm drinking some vino, and I'll tell you a little bit about my day in a minute. But, you know, you got to get it in. And this stuff, like I say, whenever you're doing something for you, make sure you're on the side of the good, because you can always find something positive on anything that you do. And, you know, like there's, you know, like I said, there's a 2-way, 3-way, 4-way, so many different ways of possibilities of what may or may not be. You got to be on the side that you choose to make you you. And when we're going with this, you know, I always say that, you know, it's filling your body with antioxidants, it's filling you full of blood, full of life. And, you know, hey, even it goes with the blood of Christ, but I ain't preaching no religion. I'm just talking about the way that you should be feeling in the moment, to just be feeling beautiful about whatever you're doing to make you smile. So for that, I say salute. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And believe it or not, that vino was actually left over from last night. I don't waste any wine in this house, you know, and you know, I just got done taking care of I got my wolf walking down here. How you doing, wolf? I just got done taking care of my my day, which was just full of a whole bunch of just, you know, it was a beautiful unfolding and a beautiful journey. And as Abraham Hicks says, things are always working out for me. And what I was doing today is, you know, I was with all these quarantine now, you know, being at home and whatnot, I was really taking care of my, you know, the yard, because I'm blessed too to take care of, you know, the grass. A lot of hippies out there and spiritual gurus will always tell you, like, oh yeah, you know, whenever I need to ground myself, I'm always barefoot in the grass. And if it's got some dew on it, it's getting the negative ions off your feet. That's where the money is. And it's like, you know what? I'm a barefoot guy. And, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I feel beautiful whenever I'm running barefoot. And it's just something that I like to do. I mean, is it something that's, you know, can make you feel grounded? Possibly. I mean, I feel grounded in me anyways. And it's just something that I'll just, you know, I just do on a day-to-day. And, you know, shoes, you know, I don't wear, shoes don't wear me, as Iceman Wim Hof says, and I agree with that quote. And, you know, I just wear them whenever I need to get in the store, if I'm doing some type of labor intense where I really need them. But for the most part, I do, you know, most of my yard work without, you know, just being barefoot. And like I said, today, I'm outside swinging a rake, and we're doing some dethatching. And what that is when you're just kind of raking up the old grass about, you know, underneath, you know, the winterized lawn that you had, and you want to get all them old sticks and twigs and dead grass out of there so you can make way for the new grow to come in. And that's essentially what you're kind of doing anyways, like, you know, on a day-to-day is you're clearing out the old to make way for the new. And that's what dethatching is. I mean, when you comb your hair, you want to, you know, make sure that it's like, you know, you're raking out like whatever, you know, whatever ain't alive, you're making room for the new of the grow. But what we're talking about in this particular flow, and what I'm going with about, you know, just like I said, swinging a rake around, it was just more or less about naturally raising your testosterone. Because, you know, I always preach about labor intensive jobs are, you know, one of the, you know, key factors in to just give you that natural testosterone rush. And, you know, swinging a sledgehammer, digging a ditch, these are the type of motions and movements that are going to essentially make you a man. Or I don't, you know, we're going that route, like ho ho ho. We're talking about being a man, you know, like get those commercials for the Force Factor or whatever. Are you feeling less of a man? Your grandfather was more of a man than you, and they got to make you feel like this, that, or the other. But I'm telling you, if you got the opportunity to go out in the yard and swing a rake around or dig a hole, you know, this is what it's all about. I mean, you got people that, you know, when gyms are open, you got people that are swinging sledgehammers on tires to get that motion of feeling that, you know, that natural testosterone release. And, you know, like I say, man, certain types of work where it's really labor intensive. And like, this is a joke I always like to say, like, you know, a lot of Mexican guys are a lot of laborers, and they tend to have a lot of beautiful families and beautiful kids. So, I mean, you know they got to be doing something right if they be working all day with their hands and, you know, working with the manos. And that's really what it all comes down to. Like, when we're talking about digging a ditch, swinging a rake, and this is just something that kind of helped me out throughout my day. And there was a quote that I heard, you know, somewhere along the other. You know me, I'm always surfing the spiritual guided light worker, you know, information that resonates well with me. And what the quote happened to be was about, it was about, if you're going to do something, make sure you're doing it like a Zen master. And that doesn't matter what it is. If you're washing the car like Mr. Miyagi, some wax on, wax off, we're talking about whatever you're doing, just be on the side of, you know, the grow is what I come down to. You know what I mean? Because I know that when I'm swinging a rake around, I know that it's definitely going to be helping me naturally raise my testosterone. Now, on the other side of the coin or the token or the streeter, like I say, you know, you could find the negatives about what you're doing. And like I say, man, forget about that. Always be on the positive, because you can always find something that is essentially making you grow. So, you know, being the Zen master type flow, we're going to turn you into the grow master. We're talking about making ourselves grow into the giant gods that we are, not worrying about the little gremlins at your feet. Talking about having that huge piece of meat, throbbing your pecs, give it a kiss. How you doing? Not worrying about them, you know, those little gremlins or stomping on your best friend's house, which is a huge, giant love. Because you know what we're talking about here in the BCC. Always talking about spreading that love and positivity, no matter what. So I always got to share this matrix hack whenever I get that heart pumping, that powerful heart chakra. The center of it all is what, you know, if you're ever coming with energy and you're coming with love, you can do no wrong. And that's what Tao Masters say. That's what I really feel and know. And I know that you got the glow at any given time to really just feel whatever is around you. Because this is, you know, love is one of the most powerful energies you can ever feel. And whenever you're able to put that back into your body, it's something that is profound. Which is why whenever I go out there on a day-to-day, and if you ever hear somebody on the other line of the phone, you see somebody in traffic, somebody, like I said, somebody just comes across your mind, instead of, you know, thinking this, that, or the other about them, just intend on that soul, that person. They have a beautiful day, to feel love in some kind of way, and you go along your day, and you just hacked the matrix, you just made the world a better place. And it's really as simple as that, because like I say, the universe is a mirror, and whenever you're going out there, that's really a reflection of yourself. So when you're intending on everybody to have the best, you're going to feel the best. And whatever it starts with is making sure that you loving yourself today. And whatever you got to do, you got to toke up for 420 and go ahead and, you know, smoke yourself in a stone or whatever, you know, make yourself feel something special. I think that's a beautiful thing. If it's making you smile, if it's making you grin, you're definitely going to win. And you could find the positive sides of, you know, of medical marijuana that can essentially help you with this. Now, I'm not here to condone or convey what you should do today about, you know, drugs or alcohol. I just condone the use of you being you, not the use of, you know, doing the drugs. Make sure the drugs ain't doing you is really what it comes down to, because, you know, essentially everything out there is just like an added, like an added boost to what you can become in the day. If it's taking you away from yourself in the present, that's when you got to go ahead and scrap that away, because that's no good for nobody. You want to make sure you're able to wake up and be 100 million percent of what you possibly can be, because you ain't going to want to be, you know, beat down permanently to your knees if you let it, because you and me are nobody's going to hit as hard as life. But it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how much you take and keep moving forward. That's how it's done. I had to hit you with the Rocky quote right off the, you know, right in the middle of this, just because it feels right to me, because I can always just find a moment in time to just go ahead and drop that line, and it's something that makes me smile. And like I said, today we're talking about getting out there and keeping the momentum going, not worrying about anything to just stop the flow. And like the most things that will pump the brakes on that is your own mind, because, you know, no matter who, you know, no matter which way you cut the mustard. I don't know why I had to think of a Gary Cartolano line. Came into me from the universe. You don't even know him. Watching a lot of Sopranos, a lot of just energies that are just always around me. But no matter which way that you cut it, man, when we're talking about like energies and your whole mindset of, like, you know, what, like something negative, or just getting inside of your own head about where you should be and what you should do, those are the things that are going to drive you, you know, that's what's going to take you away from the present, man. You just got to understand you're doing something beautiful now. So go ahead and write that down. I'm doing something beautiful now. I choose to grow. I got the flow. I got the grow. And you know where we're going with this. I got to always show you at any given time. It doesn't matter about what time of day it is, how much sleep you got, and what the hell, what's going on. It's all that matters is it's time to pump out of any, just right out of the air, man. It doesn't matter. It's always just around you, and you could always just feel it at any given time to make you feel alive, man, and it feels so good. Like I said, just swinging a rake around, really getting my testosterone flowing, getting that long hair flowing, skin glowing, body growing, spirit knowing I'm doing something right. And I'm here to share the beautiful information that Paramahansa Yogananda says. You know I say it a lot, but he is the yoga master, the one that brought yoga to the West, helping people be their best. Namaste. You know what we're going with. I'm talking about the mind is the wielder of muscle. So when you take that information and you make it valid, by understanding that it's your mind that increases the size. It doesn't matter about what kind of exercises, what kind of diet that you're doing. It matters about the way your mind is choosing what you're doing. So make sure that you're choosing to grow out of anything that you're doing, which is, like I said, raking the lawn. That's essentially choosing to grow. That's activating the muscles as you do it. And if you're able to use sexual energy, much like Arnold Schwarzenegger does, and a whole bunch of other bodybuilders that just turned on by themselves doing the posing. When I go to the gym, it's like I'm coming. When I get the pump, I'm like, yeah, you understand what he's really talking about? We're talking about the energy that creates life. Like I say, man, we're all created from, excitement. Sex is an exciting thing, and when you're able to put that into your exercise, that's a beautiful experience. And you know what we're going with. You know my beautiful mantras I gotta be saying along the way. As I'm telling you, man, right now, I'm feeling anabolic, man. I got the sweat dripping under the pits. And I know that might sound sick to some, but intriguing to most. But what we're going with in this flow is understand the positive mantras I like to say along the way, as things are always working out for me. Abraham Hicks hit it with a double time, but you know what we're going to talk about is I am magic, I am divine, and the universe is on my side. That's a beautiful one to say. And then, of course, whenever you got to give thanks and praise to your beautiful muscles, because like I always say, gratitude is the attitude. And you know what? Since I'm in the pump, I might as well tell you how I be waking up every single day. Before my feet hit the ground, before I got a breath, I can recollect. You go ahead and drink this breath with me, even when I'm getting this pump, and just go ahead and feel this. I got a shot today. I feel beautiful because gratitude is the attitude. And that's a beautiful way to go with this flow. And we're going to put that gratitude back into the muscles right now by saying I'm so happy and grateful that my huge, beautiful muscles are growing bigger, harder, stronger, more defined, abundantly. And then, of course, for that beautiful piece of meat swinging at the knees, I'm so happy and grateful that my huge, beautiful penis is growing bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder, abundantly. And that's a beautiful thing that you ought to know. And that's what's really going to help you grow. And whenever you get one last rep in, you go ahead and you scream and you shout or feel every bit of this in your head and go ahead and say, I am magic, I am divine, and I can increase my size. Oh, yeah, 2020 getting lit, getting ripped, getting huge, yeah. Woo! It's a beautiful thing, man. You gotta love that. We got a prolonged, extra, an extra type of flow today, and that's gonna definitely help you grow today. Whew! It's a beautiful thing. And for that, go ahead, hold my accountability, and you can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot. That's right, Mr. Larson. I'm saying salute with a wine in my hand. It's a beautiful time to be alive. Salute. Beautiful thing. All right. That was like an extra bonus workout right there, I tell you what. But with this, I intend on all you guys to have a beautiful day. Feel love in some kind of way and really spread that love any which way that you can. I intend on all you guys to feel confident in who you are. Be comfortable being naked. Be more, comfortable with, with this, man. Get comfortable with the man in the mirror, the guy that appears. Make sure you're keeping this clear and be easy on yourself. Say I love you. Give yourself a how you doing when you're going by. If you feel good, it feels beautiful to be alive. Understand that. It doesn't matter. There's somebody for everybody, no matter what. Because like I say, before I go, and I got to convey the point, for everybody out there, for everybody, somebody's dick's getting hard and somebody's pussy's getting wet. So never let your insecurities ruin anybody's happiness. And on that note, I'm going to close this beautiful experience yet again. Make sure you guys really get at me in the BCC. Drop me a line and email me, and I could teach you the techniques, the super edging, the super Kegels, aroused workouts, utilizing cock rings, utilizing labor, being on the side of the grow. I'm here for you. I'm an online coach, and I could teach you a beautiful, experience to help you, fulfill your goals. And I'm here for you. Otherwise, you make sure you're checking out my kids. See you on the gram. He's taking care of the neighborhood. My wolf and my bear always there. And we're always doing something beautiful. 2020 is a beautiful year. I feel beautiful things are coming. And with that, man, I'll be seeing you on the next one. We got plenty more beautiful experiences to come. I love you guys, and I'll be seeing you around. Peace.